Good morning. I'm going to go over this worksheet, Introduction to Reading Molecular Formulas, and it talks a little bit about molecular formulas and what the numbers represent and everything, and that's what we're going to get into here. And then over here, it shows a couple of different ways of writing out molecules or chemicals. And there's the drawings over here. There is molecular formulas and then empirical formulas. Well, we're not going to worry about empirical formulas. We are just looking at molecular formulas here. That's mainly what you're going to see as we go through chemistry. So let's just get right into it. And what we want to know is when we look at a molecule like H2O, I want to know how many of each atom we have. And these first couple of examples should be very straightforward. We've already seen some of this stuff. So H, I look on my periodic table. H is hydrogen. And how many do I have? Well, that number to the bottom right, that 2, tells me I have 2 hydrogen. Now, at this point, I don't have a coefficient that I'm worried about yet. That's going to come up in a minute. So in this example, we don't have to worry about what that is. What's the next atom? So O, that's oxygen. I look up on my periodic table. How many do I have? Well, if there's no number there, then that is just by default a 1, right? That's 1 oxygen. 1. Now, that should be very straightforward for these examples here. All you're doing is identifying what atoms there are and how many there are. It's going to get a little trickier though on the second page. So we're going to actually do a couple of examples from back here. And the first one I want to look at is this one, where the molecule says 2HF. Now, this 2 is our coefficient, okay? That is what we were talking about with coefficient. This is a number in front of the molecule. That's different than the numbers that are down to the bottom right. What this is saying, think about this like in math class where we have parentheses. That 2 says I have 2 of these molecules. So back here, I only had 1 of the molecules and there was no number out front. But now it's saying 2 out front means there's 2 of those molecules. So let's write down our atoms. H is hydrogen. And F, if I look on my periodic table, is fluorine. But how many do I have? Well, there's no number for hydrogen and fluorine, right? So that just means there's 1 of each of those. But now I have to take in my coefficient. And this is also just like in algebra. I'm going to multiply everything on the inside by the coefficient, 2 times 1. So how many hydrogens total do I have? 2 times 1, so 2 times 1 equals a total of 2 hydrogens. Fluorine, 2 times 1 fluorine equals 2. So I have a total of 2 fluorines, because again, that coefficient says I have 2 of these molecules. Let's do another one, and we'll skip down to this one here, 3C2H4O2. We're going to do it the exact same way that we did this example. Let's write out our atoms. C is carbon when I look on my periodic table. H is hydrogen when I look on my periodic table. And O is oxygen. Now, again, we still have those parentheses. So that 3, the coefficient, says I have 3 of these molecules. So 3 is going to be multiplied by however many we have of each of these on the inside. Okay, let's look at our carbon. There's 2 carbons in this molecule, so I'm going to multiply that by 3. 3 times 2 equals a total of 6 carbons. What about my hydrogens? Well, there's 4 hydrogens in the molecule. I'm I'm going to multiply that by 3. So 3 times 4 equals 12. And then my oxygens, I have 2 in the molecule. My coefficient is 3. So 3 times 2 equals 6. And you're going to do that for all of these examples, okay? So there's a coefficient on these bottom ones here. The first couple of examples did not have coefficients, so they should be much more straightforward. Hope this helps.